the beacon for the nation. This program is suitable for general viewing.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A very good evening. It is exactly 17 minutes past 8 o'clock. My name is Faisal Kassim and this is the Live Real Talk. Our Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam received a special verse. Al-yawma akmaltu lakum dinakum wa atmamtu alaykum wa raditu lakum al-islam dina. This is one special verse that was one of the last verses to be revealed unto him. The Jews came to Umar ibn al-Khattab and told radiallahu anhu and said that you have one gem in your holy book that if we had it, that one piece of advice would everything to us. Basically, the weight of that one verse would be amazing. As Muslims, our deen has been defined clearly from the time we wake up to the time we go back to bed. How do we transact in our businesses? How do we go about our daily lives? All these have been clearly defined within our religion. And one of the key components of Islam is the aspect of communityhood and social structure and social life. This is one thing that is very important, and thus one of the strongest and key pillars of Islam, which is the third pillar of Islam actually, is the concept of zakah. Now this is devoid, this is separate from the normal day-to-day sadaqah that you can give to someone. But again, the concept of zakah that requires you're mandated to give at least 2.5% annually of your earnings if you're over a certain threshold. Where does that money go to? There are 8 categories. Among them, the fuqara, the masakeen, the orphans, the wayfarers, and the many more, right? As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clearly defined it. So basically, the concept of socialhood, communityhood, brotherhood, sisterhood has been emphasized, if anything, overemphasized in Islam. But how is our status today as a community? This is going to be the topic of conversation tonight, as we are talking about the social structures within our Muslim community in Kenya. And this has been highlighted by the case of our sister Salama Luboto that was buried last week. Allahumma aghfir laha warhamah. May Allah forgive her sins. May Allah grant her Jannat al-Firdaus. She was in the morgue for more than a year with a bill of 7 million or 8 million? 7 million, right? Bill of 7 million. But alhamdulillah, the efforts of our brothers and sisters, of course, led by our sister Ustadha Aisha Mohammed, who is here in studio tonight, a director at Darul kheir, to discuss the matter. Ustadha, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Ahlan wa sahlan, Ustadha, how are you?
Marhaban, shukran.
You made one video and it went viral, my goodness.
I made dua before it.
What was the secret? Tell me. What was the secret?
Yeah,
what dua did you make?
Yeah, I just asked Allah that to use us and to make it easy for us, because I knew it was not going to be easy. Basically, how it started, we got a call from a committee member, I think, in Kakuma, Jamia Mosque. He told me how they have struggled with to get Salama out of hospital.
Okay.
And they gave me the contact of the MP, Akwapo, at that time. So I was talking to the MP of that area at the same time with the Jamia Mosque committee there, talking to the Imam. So back and forth, collecting information, and I realized that yes, these people have struggled to get Salama out of where she is, but in vain. Basically, Salama was more of a cleaner at that NGO. But because of her sickness, she had cervix cancer. So I think as an organization, what they decided is to airlift her from Kakuma to Nairobi Hospital, because she had a UAP insurance card. So the UAP insurance card, by the time she was passing away with a bill of 9.2 million, the UAP could only do 3.5. And so they went back as a community, Muslim community in Kakuma. They tried to fundraise and came back with 1.2.
Which year was that?
This was 2022 October.
Okay.
So with the 1.2, and they came here to Jamia Mosque. Jamia Mosque did some Friday donations, I think twice or thrice, came up with $1 million. So that was like 2.2. So they went to them. They say, we have 2.2, add it to the 3.5, please give us the bond. They refused. They said, we want the full amount. So because they were incapable, wakasema tawakal na yani, hapo ndo mwisho.
And that
so
was
so a year later now, they call and say, Ustadha, tumetumwa kwako, ebu angalia vile utaweza. So I went Nairobi Hospital that Monday morning. In fact, I got it in the weekend. So in the morning I went, I said, how much do you own her? There was like 6.2. I was like, hey, 6.2. Yeah. You pesa yote. And I was like, okay, so where is she? Wakambia, she's next. Kuna Lee funeral. I went to Lee funeral, found some white people there, mashallah, dressed very well. It's a morgue, subhanallah. Kanambia 3.5 million. 1.3 million. It's like, you've had her here for 1 year. So how much is every day? 4,000 every day. So nika combine ile 6.2 nikaeka na hii 1.3. Jo hesabu ikaniambia hapa wezi toboa. Peke yako utaweza. Yeah, that is 7.5 million. Sisi Waislamu tunatoa pesa kama hiyo. And then where are you getting? Unapatia nani pesa kama hiyo? So we came to a negotiation whereby, okay, we give you half of it, alafu mtusamee hiyo ingine. Wakasema hiyo ingine leteni security. Hakuna vile tutawasamee.
Both the hospital and the morgue?
Yeah. Nikaambia basi hamjatujua ni kuna vile mnatubea endagi hivyo. Mtatusamee hiyo nusu, tutatafuta hiyo 3.2. Already Jamia Mosque had a check. $1 million, already wale wengine walikuwa nao lakini hawaku deposit. So we were to just look for, I think 1.5 hivi to fundraise. So I just did yani nimemwomba tu Allah. Nikitoka kwa hiyo hospitali nimetoka nikamwambia tu Allah. Yani as long as imetufikia inamaanisha umetupa sisi uwezo wa kumtoa. So I did that video. Alhamdulillah, it went viral. We had a pay bill. The pay bill was double what we expected. We got more than 2.5 million in one pay bill in less than 24 hours. No way. Yeah, less than 24 hours. Yeah. And the following day, we went to pick up our sister. Alhamdulillah, me and Ustadha Ruqayya helped in the janaza. To come prepare. Kamweka, we went to bury.
And you had a meeting with the hospital management to look into the matter. I saw the area MP, I saw the hospital top leadership, the Muslim lawyers, some representative from Jamia Mosque.
Yes.
What was the content of the discussion?
We went to them saying that we have half of what you want from our sister. And they kept on fighting us back saying, we are not seeing Salama's family. Hapa si hatuoni family ya Salama. So we want the family so that we can have this discussion. And we are like, we are Muslims, we are one body. Salama is already my sister by Islam. I don't need to bring an ID, or I don't need to come from a Turkana or anything. Kila mtu hapa ni dada ya Salama na ni ndugu ya Salama. That was the first, yani wametusumbua na hiyo in the beginning of the conversation. Later on, when they accepted to talk to us as like her immediate family, now we started discussing the bill. And we were like, tutole hiyo 3, forgive us, forgive them, wachana nayo iende, alafu hiyo 3.2 tuweke. So it was back and forth. No. The lawyers were there for Nairobi Hospital saying, no, you need to find us here tomorrow. If we keep on waiving bills, I'm like, who are you waiving bill? Have you ever seen a Muslim walking into Nairobi Hospital and getting out of Nairobi Hospital without clearing a bill for the longest that you have been? This is the first case of a Muslim. So sisi Waislamu wenyewe tunajijua nani anaendaga Nairobi Hospital, nani anaendaga Kenyatta. Yani tunajijua na tunajielewa. So this was just by mistake. And we kept on reminding them that we are the biggest consumers of Nairobi Hospital. We Muslims, we are the biggest. So if you don't go well with this case, you're going to lose a very huge percentage of clients. So hapo kidogo wakaingia joto, wakatusikiza. So they said the 3 million imebaki, pay 1 million in 12 months, alafu hiyo 2 million wakatusamea. Alhamdulillah.
And we give them pale, so we don't need the 12 months.
Sisi ni wale wase.
Wale wase. Allahumma barik, subhanallah. Reminds me of one hadith that two sheikhs that I know personally, and they really love using this hadith. That is Sheikh Sadragi, hafidhahullah, and Sheikh Jamaluddin Asman, hafidhahumullah ta'ala. And these sheikhs, they love using this hadith that إِذَا أَحَبَّ اللَّهُ عَبْدًا إِسْتَعْمَلَهُ. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves someone, then Allah uses those people.
That's my dua.
Subhanallah.
I always tell Allah, use me. Use me, because you know I love it. I love doing it. I have the capability. I have the passion in me. So yeah, alhamdulillah, it was something we didn't expect it, but alhamdulillah. Now when we look at Salama's case, tunaangalia shida iko wapi.
That's the thing. That just forms the next part of the conversation. Ustadha, this is not the first case you've handled, right? We follow one another on social media. I see your posts, I see your appeals, I receive your messages. This is not the first one.
Yeah.
Right? Yes, might have been one of the worst because she was in the hospital in the morgue for that long.
That long.
But again, you raise for hundreds, if not tens of people every year. Right? Medical appeals, rent appeals, school fees, floods, mtu amechomeka na nyumba, sababu mukuru, mama wa jamii.
Yes.
Ustadha, like, subhanallah, what is happening to us? Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, the Baytul Mal was full. It was full, there was no one to give. Right now, every single day, Ustadha, we are having a case, we are fundraising. Why is this the case? Where is the problem?
Wow, the problem is everywhere. It's scattered everywhere. First and foremost, the biggest problem we have that imeleta shida yote ni lack of good governance. We don't have the right leaders on those chairs.
Which chairs?
Mostly the Islamic institutions, the leaders on these Islamic institutions. Leaders, we can say maybe the imams, maybe the CEOs of these Islamic organizations, the directors, the nini. They have lost priority. Kuna mixed of priorities. Napata. What they think is important in their desk right now, it is not what is important on the ground. Unanipata?
So there is a disconnect.
Yeah, there's a disconnect between these offices and these institutions and the Muslim as an ummah. There's a big gap. There's an extremely big gap. So when I talk about leadership, I mean leaders, when they're on that seat, they're supposed to be knowing where the problem is exactly and how they are going to be solving it. Not shutting and pretending that these problems don't exist. Secondly, kuna conflict sana huko juu. Kama ni misikiti, unaona watu tu komiti ilisema, yani wanaume kila wakiamka asubuhi ni kupigana. Huyu alisema, huyu alifanya. So as they are having the internal conflicts, tunaambiwa manyasi ndio inaumia. Manyasi ndio inaumia. Hawaangalii, macho haiko chini, macho iko huko juu, wenyewe kwa wenyewe. Nani atakuwa chairman, nani atakuwa treasurer, nani atakuwa nani, while the Muslims are the ones who are suffering on the ground. Imefika mahali Faisal, leo sisi wa mama wa Kiislamu ndio tumechukua hiyo jukumu. Ukiangalia any social fundraiser katika umma leo ni wanawake. Ustadha Ruqaya ni mwanamke, Saadia Ogle ni mwanamke, Ustadha Aisha ni mimi. We have Fadla ule wa wa leukemia, ana take care of watoto ambao wako na cancer. Ukiangalia like throughout the social media, women have come to fill this gap because sisi ndo tunaishi na hawa. We are the ones seeing our youth suffering, we are the ones seeing our mothers suffering, we are the ones seeing our children suffering, and because people, the leaders are not looking down, we have decided sisi ndo tutafanya nini? Tutafill ile gap. With the support of people like you, like Ali Khalid, with nani na nani ndo tumeweza. Unanipata? So it is high time leaders got their priorities right. Ni nini hasa Waislamu wanahitaji leo? Waislamu wanahitaji hospitali zao. Because Faisal, ebu wefikiria, mimi nilikuwa na hiyo pay bill. Sawa? Hiyo ya Salma, mimi nilikuwa nimeshikilia. Ile pesa ilikuwa inaingia hapo, ni 5 bob, ni 10 bob, ni 500, yani ile ikizidi sana wase walikuwa wanatuma 1000 mob sana, unaona. Sasa hii pesa yetu ya wanyonge, pesa ya umma, pesa zetu, yani mtu na jasho yake ametoa soa yake, mwingine akatoa punch, mwingine akatoa 50 bob. Hiyo pesa ndio tumeenda kupelekea masonko. It does not make sense. Does not, yani aina ukuluna. Hata tukaulizwa yani iko wapi akili yetu? And this is what happens, Faisal, every day. Every day tunachangisha, tunatajirisha wase wengine.
Tayari kuna packet, tayari
unacheki Nairobi Hospital. Last year yenyewe revenue yao ilikuwa 11 billion. Salama ilikuwa nawapunguzia nini? Unapata? Yani sisi Waislamu pale tumefika, si ati tumesota. Wao umeona tumemaliza kesi ya 7 million in one day. Within 24 hours, Salama kesi yake ilikuwa imeisha. Kwa tu tunangoja tuamke asubuhi tuende tukumchukua tumziki.
Subhanallah.
It means hii umma inaweza, lakini we lack the governance. Kuna watu Waislamu wana trust na mali zao. Kuna watu Waislamu hawa trust na mali zao. Kuna watu I think hii internal conflict ndio ina to let down sisi kama umma. Laiti tungekuja tukue kitu kimoja. Tusiangalie huyu ni Wahabi, huyu ni Sufi, sijui huyu ni nani, sijui nini. Tulete hiyo nguvu, that energy, negative energy tuko nao kwa mujtama, to turn into positive. Come together and see. Sisi leo watu wa kwenda kuomba msaada ya medical.
Well, subhanallah. Umesema the biggest problem is with the leadership of the governors. They're having misplaced priorities, right? I don't know to interact now. My next question I want to ask you, if there are 5 things you think are necessary for this ummah, right? Zinaweza kwa nini? Because I'm thinking aloud. Mtu kisema about education, we have Muslim integrated schools. Tukiongea tusema tuko na Muslim madaris. Tukisema about mathalan orphans wanateseka, someone hypothetically can come and say tuko na 11 orphanages in Nairobi and its environs for Muslims. Right? Like tukiongea about mathalan, nimesema story ya Hosi, mtu atakwambia in Mombasa we have Mea, in Malindi we have another hospital, right? But in Nairobi we have hospitals owned by Muslims, and the doctors will tell you, letani watu tawatibu, mathalan, for example, right? So in your opinion, umedil na watu wa ground, right? As you've clearly put it, and Allah subhanahu, I'm a witness of what you've done for ground, right? Allahumma barik. And I pray to Allah, all those of us who have witnessed, we are going to testify at the judgment that, Ya Allah,
Shorty, I don't do it alone.
Ya Allah, we saw,
I'm being supported.
We saw, right?
Your support.
So my question is, what are the 5 things, if today you are to meet the Muslim leadership in this country, right? All these big organizations, what to make an issue in one room, and they tell you, Ustadha, what are the 5 key things that you can focus on? 1, Mr. Malik.
Medical.
2.
Education.
How?
Education in terms of, okay, again there's a gap in the education, because when you look at now quality education, it's being given to those who can afford. So I would say, when you come in with your zakat money, promote the public schools on the ground. Make sure that they have the right facilities, because they're the ones that is carrying the majority of Kenyan children and Kenyan students. Public schools. I would say that. Let's come to the ground where, I mean, unajua, because if we say we want to build Muslim schools, hakuna vile itatusaidia. At the end of the day, itaitwa integrated school, and anything is called integrated school is not anything less than 100,000. Hiyo sasa hiyo itakuwa ya masosi. So invest on the public schools on the ground. Maybe the secondary school, the what you call primary school. Angalia what is it that they are missing in these schools, and we as a Muslim community contribute to that, because that is where majority of our children are. If it is the toilet, build the toilets with a wudu area and a praying area in public school. That is the way you're going to promote Islam in this school. But just building Islamic schools, hakuna vile inatusaidia, because si hao watoto wote wataenda kwa hizo.
Not all of them can afford it.
Si wote wataenda kwa hizo skuli. So let's do education. And when I was talking about medical, before skipping it, let's revive dispensaries. Dispensary zamani ilikuwa inafanya kazi poa sana, Faisal, by the way. Nimekam kurealize utu matunini huko on the ground.
Somtani tule.
Uto tunacheza. Mimi nakwambia mtu wangu watu uza huko ndani.
No way. I thought ilikuwa ndo kudunga tu sindano nini mapolio.
Mimi nakwambia kuna mama siku moja alitoka kwa kibanda kama meza. No. Niambia mamake, umetoka huko ndani kuza. Nikirudi huko ndani naangalia. Naona tu nikakitanda kuza na meza. So, kitambo mtu arifariwe Kenyatta, kitambo mtu apelekwe Mbagathi. Why don't we revive the dispensaries that used to be there? I remember there used to be Crescent and others and others and others. Let's revive them and give them the facilities ile inahitajika. Ndo kitambo mtu atumwe Kenyatta itakuwa yenyewe ni mgonjwa. Unapata? So tunapunguza ile traffic ya Kenyatta na pia tunapunguza ile bili ya Kenyatta.
Hold it there, Ustadha. 5 things, we mentioned 2, coming back for the 3. We need to pay our bills. Mwisho mwezi umefika, tunangoja mshahara. Kabla mshahara ingie lazima tuneshe advert. Ndio hizo pesa zikam through. Tuko na Ustadha, we are talking about the social structures. Subhanallah, one key thing that so far I've left out with is actually 2. 1, misplacement of priorities from the Muslim leaders. 2, the disconnect between the leadership and what's really happening on the ground. Huge. So said Ustadha, and subhanallah, than the person who is actually. This is Live Real Talk. In your opinion, what are the 5 things that we can change? Text us on the numbers on your screen. We're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. Let us read your comments. Going to be back in a moment.
Horizon TV, the beacon for the nation.
The best gift you can give to your kids is education. Baitul Hikmah Integrated Group of Schools is a faith-based international school that offers an Islamic integrated British curriculum. We provide quality education to our students while instilling Islamic morals, values and practices. Our curriculum includes Cambridge IGCSE, digital learning, modern languages and Islamic integrated studies steered by a qualified and experienced TSC registered tutors. We offer a secure and serene learning environment that promotes development of knowledge, skills, understanding, confidence and creativity to our students. To strike a balance, we have an ample playground for the children and strong extracurricular activities. The school has a mosque and madrasa for the students' spiritual upliftment. We're located at 6 Parklands Avenue off City Park Drive opposite Regal Plaza on Tazza Lane. September 2023 intake is ongoing. For more information, contact us on 0732 854 647, info@baitulhikmah.sc.ke or www.baitulhikmah.sc.ke. Baitul Hikmah, a home of wisdom.
Wakati nilisilimu, hiyo picha iliweka kwenye YouTube. So walipatana kule, nikapigiwa simu, nikauliza, kuna video tunaona, je ni wewe?
Ilinipa moyo. Siku give up. Msema anavyosema inna Allah masabirin. Mamangu haya kujela elimu kwangu ilikuwa inanisaidia kidogo. Mwambia mama usijishughulishe maana ifikia nataka kuuza kile kitu kwa usafiri wake kuja.
Sasa ilikuwa vita kwa kanisa, vita huko nje. Kwa kanisa unapigwa vita kwa president worship, mara unaimba kujionyesha, mara sijui nini. Yani there was no a single day that will pass without me not crying. And on Friday in the morning, very early in the morning, I woke up and I told God, this is the decision that I've made, and please walk me through. And let me never come back to that life that I've been living.
At some point she told me, kama huachi dini, I'm going to disown you na nizae mtoto mwingine na nimpe jina yako and I forget you, wewe uendelee na hiyo dini. That hurt me.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا نودي للصلاة من يوم الجمعة فاسعوا إلى ذكر الله وذروا البيع ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون.
Enyi mlioamini, munapoitwa kuhudhuria swala ya Ijumaa, fanyeni haraka kuikimbilia, muache biashara zenu, hilo ni bora ikiwa mwelewa.
Isikilizeni kwa umakinifu khutba ya Ijumaa
ili uzidi kujenga imani yako na kupata faida nyingi ya siku hii.
Coming to you every Friday from Jamia Mosque, Nairobi.
Live on Horizon TV.
Horizon TV, the beacon for the nation.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you so much for keeping it live, Real Talk. My name is Faisal Kassim and we're here tonight to talk about some of the ills that are ailing our social structure as a community, despite having a wonderful religion, not crafted by human. But again, this is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself. Right? And I'm here tonight with Ustadha Aisha. Khalid, the CEO of Masjid, has sent his apology. He has been held up in traffic and cannot be able to make it within the next 16 minutes that will be wrapping up this show. He will not be able to make it. That is why I'm left with Ustadha Aisha, and we're talking about the 5 things that she would advise the Muslim leadership in this country to change. She mentioned about dispensaries and the general health facilities. As a Muslim community, it's high time we have our own hospital. So she's saying, and reviving dispensaries, it helps in addressing the primary immediate medical health care. Number 2, she spoke about education and said that we need to invest in the public institutions. Now we're back. What are the other 3 things that Ustadha has for us? Ustadha, karibu sana.
Yes.
We spoke about the 2 things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But before we proceed, on health, Mombasa has one. Malindi has one, to the best of my knowledge. So if you're saying that we are building Muslim hospitals, where are we building these Muslim hospitals?
Okay, Nairobi doesn't have. And this is where majority of the people come, the urbanization. People are in Nairobi to work. So already there's a project ongoing for As-Salam Hospital.
Okay.
That I think very soon, inshallah, if Allah grants them tawfiq, they'll come up with a hospital. But my thinking is that coming up with a hospital will take some time, like a while, yeah? So for the time being, what do? I said the dispensary, or can we as Muslim have a card that can go alongside the NHIF? Unaona, NHIF inasaidia sana. But sometimes inaenda to some limit.
Okay.
So hiyo limit ingine imebaki. Can we also have like an insurance health card that is affordable to those on the ground? So that anaweza beba hiyo NHIF na hii, kama hii haija, yani hii itakamilisha hii card itakamilisha hii. It's high time we had our own health insurance card. That is according to me. The other thing I think is very important for us as a human, as an ummah, is a community center. Community center is vital. Ni kitu important sana sahi kwetu. Because it's the only way tunaweza kuleta umma pamoja. Hapo ndo tunaweza leta mayouth, hapo ndo tutaleta wamama, tutaleta watoto, tutaleta wazee, tunaleta baba, you know, where we are going to be able to discuss our social problem in one in one
Is that
roof.
similar to what you have Darul Kheir in Mukul in South B?
Yeah. Well, Darul Khair is a community center. I had that idea for a long time. Me as a woman, I would have built a mosque and become an imam because I have the knowledge. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not given me that seat of leadership. Allah gave it to men because Allah is alim and Allah is hakim. So it's like, okay, says jenga msikiti. But what is it that I can do as a woman, as a mother of a community to bring the whole community together? And I thought, why not a community center? So if you come to Darul Khair, utapata niko na madrasa ya watoto, na tuko na madrasa ya watu wazima, na hapo tunakuaga na parental, guidance na mentorship programs like my youth wakikam wana find space yao hapo ndo wanaweza kama wakaongea problems yao, wakapata guidance hapo, wakapewa hadithi 2 na 3. Unaona ikikam skills, utaona watoto wangu wanashona, I even put on social media, squeeze ni crochet, vijana ni football. Sasa niko na football team ya senior na niko na football team ya vijana wadogo. So it is somewhere that if somebody walks in, they feel at home. They feel this is a safe space for me. And I think the more we have community centers, the better, for awareness purposes, for, bringing solution to the social affairs that we have in the community.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think that, I believe that was the role of the Masjid. That is the role of the Masjid. Masjid si ya kufunga sasa ile watu wamemaliza kuswali. Ukifunga ile msikiti, unaambia ule youth enda ukakae mtaani, enda ukakae kwa bench. Akikaa kwa bench, anapata imam mwingine, anapata sheikh mwingine wa ku misguide. Laiti milango za msikiti zingekuwa open for this youth and they get the guidance. They stop feeling intimidated by the youth. That's where the problem is. The mosque feel very intimidated. They wanatoa youth, yani ni kama wajua kufukuzae kuambia ondoka. And so they don't have programs for them. The youth don't feel safe. It's not a safe space for them. And so when community centers will come in to replace the mosques, but if the mosques pick up and take care of that responsibility, I think we are going to be.
So how much did it cost you, for example, to put up that community center?
Let me tell you one thing. When you do something for the sake of Allah, you don't look at hata pesa uwezi jua. Yani Allah kutumia watu wake. Allah kuletea tu watu wake. You find like, this is what I want to do and I don't have the funds. Allah analeta tu. So right now, we bought a land. And now inshallah we are building it. Mimi nimwambia tu Allah, mimi ni mwanamke, hakuna vile nitakwenda kwa misikiti niende kuomba. Hakuna vile nitaingia tena social media kila saa ni kuomba. I mean, me am a professional beggar. Unajua? Lakini mtu tu alikuja from nowhere. Akaniambia ustadha mimi nitakujengea. 100%. Wa hadha min fadlillah. So we are waiting ikiisha. So we are going to put everything where it has to be. Even a library for the community. Allah. Any boy or any girl, Mkristo, Muislam, walks in, atapata vitabu zake, atapata kuna mahali ya kusoma, peaceful, nini, yeah. Inshallah.
Allah. Schools, hospitals, community center. Ay akhar, what else?
Wallahi mimi ukiniuliza rehab, because vijana wetu sana siku hizi mental health yao imekuwa mbaya sana. Mental health ilikuwa kitu imeneglectiwa sana for a long time, but now I'm seeing the Muslims are picking up your awareness. People now are realizing that mental health inasumbua mavijana sana. So this by the way acha nikwambie, rehab ni ule mtu akona do. Rehab si ya mtu wa kawaida. Rehab ni expensive. Yeah, hakuna rehab mimi najua ni less than 40k. Hata kama itakuwa ni ya public.
Is it per month or
per month? Hata kama ni ya public. So rehab ni expensive. Kama wanaweza tengeneza rehab, lakini rehab ile affordable. Alafu rehab iko integrated to Islamic teachings. Unapata? Alafu hao watu ambao wamesoma dini na wamekuwa in this Islamic institution, it is high time for them to go back to school and learn sociology. Waje tu kudeal na umma ya leo, wala psychology, sociology, anything that affects the umma, so that we have these sheikhs or these ulama, people who have ilm in these rehabilitation centers to help this, hii dini imekamilika. Ukianza umesema dini imekamilika. So hata wakikuwa kwa hizo rehab, hadith kidogo, Quran kidogo, adhkar kidogo, nini, unajua utaona tu mtu amerudi to their full potential. Mimi nasema the more we neglect the youth, the more tunazama kwa hii mashida tuko nayo. Even at the time of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, wale watu waliokoa hii dini ni youth. Tuongee ukweli. Vijana ndo wako na nguvu, vijana ndo wako na hikma, vijana ndo wako na hiyo passion ya hii dini. Vijana ndo life jacket yetu, mtu wetu. Vijana ni kila kitu kwetu. Hao ndo backbone yetu. Leo if we take good care of them, we are not going to regret for our future. Right now we are in this future that we are regretting right now is because we did not take care of our youth. Our youth were not a priority to this ummah. Yeah. So we are all suffering the consequences. Ukiangalia depression ni my youth. Ukiangalia mental health, any type of mental health, bipolar nini ni my youth. Suicide iko wapi? Suicide iko juu zaidi kwa mavijana. Crime ni mavijana. Drug addiction ni vijana. Yani kitu yote mbaya iko kwa vijana. So what are we doing? What is the leadership doing to help these boys?
What can the leadership do? Now, that's the question I'm going to ask.
Now, the leadership...
What can the leadership do to these boys, to the youth, and to the women?
Wa break hiyo gap wa make up katikati. Wa break hiyo bridge wa make up between the youth.
Some of them will say they have broken.
Waache kuogopa youth. Leadership inaogopa youth. Kwa sababu youth unajua atakwambia vile iko, hakuna vile atakuficha. Mimi mwenyewe uambiwa zangu, upo zangu visasa on the ground. Uamboga ustadha yendagi hivi. Yendagi hivi na nati nasikia. Naambia sasa tufanyaje? Ustadha ni hivi na hivi na hivi. Unapata? Au ni watu Allah ashawapa hikma. Unaona? So wa break hiyo bridge. Warudisha vijana kwa mosque. Waache kuogopa vijana. Kaeni chini na vijana. Jueni because hao ndo wanajua. Angalia zakat Kenya. Zakat Kenya ikianza tulikuwa na wewe Faisal. Ilikuwa inaitwa Muslim for Muslim. Wakumbuka? Na sasa ile tulianzisha hiyo ndo Muslim for Muslim kuja kwa zakat Kenya. Nani alifanyika kwa zakat Kenya? It was the youth. Because tulikaa chini tukasema nani atatuonyesha, nani atatupatia list, nani atatupatia list ya watu
kwa interior huko
ndani. Tukasema nini? Kwanza tulianza na maimamu.
Yes.
Watu wakaanza kusema maimamu wengine wana favor watu wao. Unajua kuna kwa gezo ma problem na nini lakini si wote, just few. Tukasema hakuna mse ujua kwao kama mayouth. Wefika coach, sema unataka orphans, nyumba za orphans, utapelekwa na mayouth. Kwa hiyo base watatoka kwa hiyo base wakwambie mama fulani bwanake alikufaga 2 years. Huyo ni mayouth. Mayouth ndo walitupatia information, tukatengeneza data, tukatengeneza zakat Kenya, mtu wangu.
True.
It's the same thing. Bring back the youth, revive them. Wapatie jobo ziko. Seti jobs hakuna. Zakat Kenya ilipoanza imerevive how many youth group, imepatia watu wangapi kazi? That is just one. That's the same thing. Ma leaders wasiogope youth. Wawalete karibu, wawasikize. Unaona? So that tupate solution ya hii janga tumeingia ndani yake.
Na women?
Mimi naweza sema kama wanawake muache kutuangalia kama wanawake madhaifu, sufaha. Unajua leadership inaonaga mama ni mama tu, ni mwanamke. Sisi tunawaambia we played a very big role at the time of the Prophet, peace be upon him. Sisi ndo tulikuwa maulama kama Aisha radhiallahu anha. We went to war with our men, with the men at that time. We did what men were able to do. Ni ile tu tulicheza backstage. Na sisi hata sasa tunataka kucheza backstage. Mistaki kwa imam.
So how then will you play backstage in the current
backstage, no. By advising them. Hakuna siku moja niza kama hapa nikwambia nataka kuwa CEO wa Jamia Mosque. Hiyo Allah hajanipa, hiyo si yangu, si jukumu yangu. Lakini mimi kama mwanamke nataka tuwekwe kwa advisory board. Tuna advise mashehe wetu, maimamu wetu, people in leadership. We advise them on how it is on the ground and how they can connect. Hii ndo shida Mimi maoni yetu ni hivi, sisi kama kina mama ni hivi na hivi na hivi ndo tunaona tunaweza kusuluhisha. Marriage divorce rate iko very high Kadhi aite wa mama. Wa mama mnaona vipi nyinyi kama kina mama? Sema kama unataka kuipunguza tufanye hivi na hivi na hivi. But we always shut out. Wewe wapi ulifika uko na Islamic institution una mama ndani? Alhamdulillah, lakini tuwashukuru.
Unatupa mabombs.
Niyo, mtu wangu sema vile
unatupasha.
Ni ugeto. Lakini Agirula isema tu vile iko na Allah atupe taufiki. Tunawapenda na tunafanyia dua. Leadership yetu tunafanyia dua. Allah apate hikma, Allah ape uongozi mzuri, Allah apate kila kitu.
Amen.
Watu ongoze.
Lakini watulete ndani.
Yeah.
Vijana na wamama.
Vijana na wamama. Sisi ndio tutawasaidia. Yeah.
Ustadha mtupa mabom like subhanallah, the 5 points, and clearly, literally you faced the show with the pole. Kwanza kwa hiyo majanga yote. Baitul Mal ilikuwa, it was established during time Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Right now tuko na a lot of institutions that collect zakah, yet we still have a lot of problems. Ustadha, tuko na institutions that collect zakah, but bado wewe uko kwa social media every day. Every day. Natiki message yako na babu Ustadha Aisha, Khalid, Ustadha Ruqayya,
jaza za janaza,
Imam Ibrahim. The four culprits. Ukipata wengine uko na, ukiongeza wengine ni Sadia Ogle, ama Jimia Yusuf, Dr. Salma.
Allahu Akbar. These women are doing
Dr.
amazing
Salma,
jobs.
Who was Hamza Hassan.
Allahu Akbar.
Yeah. So the normal culprits.
Kuna shida.
Ustadha Jabir. The same names and numbers every day.
Shida iko wapi unajua? Hatutaki kuja pamoja. Hii resources inaharibika. Hizi resources how can I say? Inapotelea patupu. Tuna collect, tunaenda tunapatia nani? Tunatajirisha wengine. Nani ana collect anapeleka. Mimi na collect napeleka. Sisi tuna collect mali yetu tunapelekea wengine. Laiti leo tungekuja pamoja. Kwanza social media fundraisers tukuje sote pamoja. Tukae chini. Tuseme kila mtu ashike yake. For instance, when education, when it comes to education, wendo unapewa kwa organization yako. When it comes to medical, wendo unapewa. Wacha nikwambie, it is so dangerous what we are doing right now that the upcoming youth wale wako nyuma yetu wanakuja sasa. Wako hivyo tu, kienyeji tu. Unaona people have collected 200,000. Wasichana wanakuja. Wame collect 200,000. Tunaenda nao Mama Fatuma. Mama Fatuma, unapelekea Mama Fatuma nini unaenda? No, we are going to buy the kids toys and then we are going to, like, subhanallah, it's a lot of money.
Nakubaya toys na kuna mtu amelalanja.
Yeah.
Na kuna mtu amelalanja because ana rent.
Because leadership haijaji organize vizuri. Sisi ambao tuko kwa ground tunakuwa tuko confused. Laiti wangetuwekea hiyo social structure. Unaona hiyo social structure unasema if it was kept in place. Zakati yote ingie mali moja. Unaona? Kama zakat Kenya, why don't they give zakat Kenya? Wachukue zakati, chukule na zakat Kenya. Kama ni education, chukule na hii organization. Unanipata? Hii ni pesa mingi iko all over na inachezewa vibaya. Watu wakuje pamoja Faisal, tukuje pamoja na tuache selfishness, tuache kusema huyu ni Wahabi, huyu sijui ni Msufi, huyu sijui nini. Sasa ile ikikuja shida, tukuje tukue kitu kimoja, tufikirie pamoja, tujijenge pamoja. In that way we'll prosper. But as long as kila mtu anafanya kivyake, tutaendelea tu hivyo. Tukipelekeaga Nairobi Hospital milioni 7.
Ugeto ndo shida. We are blaming the ugeto-ness in you.
Yani nasema tu subhanallah.
Allahu Akbar, but subhanallah, wallahi, it's justified, and I feel you. I feel you to the core, because as you said, we've worked in some of these trenches together, subhanallah. We've seen the situation called Yawatuko ground. Ustadha, Allah, thank you so much. Zahir, I mean, there are a lot of bites to be cut from this interview and to just blast the social media. The Muslim leadership needs to hear this. I personally will forward to some of them, some of the Muslim leaders in these big organizations. I will personally forward to them bites from this interview. And Ustadha, Allah, thank you for sharing great insights. Thank you so much. I hope you've learned too. There are Muslim leaders that you know and you have their numbers. I've hosted the chairman of SUBKIM, the chairman of NAMLEF. Only chairman of Jamia was them host, but that's my boss, man. I cannot host him, but I promise you, this message will reach the leadership of the institution, both the management and the governance as well. I promise you it will reach them, inshallah. because it is nothing but truth and facts, and that is what we do here, because it is live and it is real and you're talking. My name is Faisal Kassim. See you next week, same place, same time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.